Now we will start our presentation. So first, a little bit introduction about SANSAC project. SANSAC project is a seconded European standardization expert in China, and it is a project co-founded by 5 European partners. First is the European Commission, and we have the DG Grow funded as 80% of the funding. And another partner is the EFTA Secretariat, SAN-ELAC, and ESI. The other 4 partners give us 5% of the presentation of the project. And what we are doing in China, we promote European and international standards in China. We try to improve the contacts between project partners and different levels of Chinese administration, industry, and standardization bodies. We enhance visibilities and understanding of European standardization systems and new legislation frameworks in China. And we are gathering the regulatory and standardization intelligence. And we undertake technical lobby if it is necessary or if it is requested by the European stakeholders. And our goal is to support European Commission's policy and European Standardization Organization's strategic objectives in China. And the ultimate goal is to enhance the EU-China dialogue and cooperation in the field of standardization. And notably, we are also supporting the framework cooperation agreement in place between the European Standardization Organizations and SAC. The SANSAC project has lasted for about 16 years, from 2006 to now, and it had four phases. And only recently, the SANSAC 5 was officially launched in October 2022. Currently, we are calling the stakeholders strategic comments on standardization cooperation with China. Because SANSAC 1 to 4, the focus is mainly on cooperate with China and support EU-China dialogues and cooperations. However, and the new geopolitical turbulence and new situation with COVID, with climate change, with a lot of development, the strategic objectives may change. Whether we should continue the cooperation and in which areas we should continue our cooperation with China in standardization, we need your support. We need your inputs so we can identify the priority areas, and we also can identify the ways and also how to cooperate with China, not only in China, but also in the international standardization organizations like ISO, IEC, 3GPP, and ITU 3GPP, and other standardization scenarios. So if you have any comments or any strategic suggestions, you can contact us at assistant@sansac.eu, or you can contact your partners in SAN-ELAC, Ms. Zhuohua Chen, or in ESI, Mrs. Magodo, and European Commission, Ms. Sylvia Vaccaro, and Ms. Gordon from the EFTA Secretariat. All the suggestions and comments are welcome. So now we will start our today's topics: the role of artificial intelligence in China, laws, regulations, policies, and standardization. So today's presentation covers 3 points. The first one is laws and regulations from 2020 to 2022, and artificial intelligence policies from 2020 to 2022, and artificial intelligence standardization. Why we just focus on 2022 and 2020 to 2022? Because in 2020 and 2019, we had already made 2 webinars on artificial intelligence standardization. Those policies and laws and standards have been detailed, have been explained and introduced in details. So if you want to check back the historical documents, you can visit our website and we can send you the previous slices, which covers more from 2017 to 2020. So the first one, the artificial laws and regulations. The current situation is that there is no specific laws to regulate for the artificial intelligence development in China. Only we had done some due diligence research. Only some of the clauses mentioned artificial intelligence. Very recently, there is a one named Personal Information Protection Law of People's Republic of China. And the Article 62 mentioned that to formulate special personal information protection rules and standards for the new technologies and applications such as face recognition and artificial intelligence. To be honest, this is the only clauses we found out for the artificial intelligence in China laws or regulations. Why it is this? Because currently the development of artificial intelligence from the eyes of Chinese regulators is not very mature and is still in the very preliminary stage. So it is not the time for, at least it is not mature to make any ethics or any trusting words or any other requirements for the artificial intelligence at this moment. That is why even the standards, even the law drafting plans, there is not much related or discussed with artificial intelligence. There is only one particular, one specific norm or regulation from the Ministry of Science and Technology, MOST, which is the which regulates a bit of artificial intelligence ethics and other requirements. It is the new generation of artificial intelligence ethics norms. Why we translate as norms? Because it is not a law. It is also not a regulation. In Chinese language, it is more like a specification or more norms. So we pretty much regard it as the regulation and Ministry of Science and Technology. However, which this regulation or these norms are more will be referred in the future for some other regulators or some other policies and standards makers. So it is the artificial ethics for the guidelines for the natural persons, legal persons, and other relevant institutions that are engaged in artificial activities. So it is not only the natural persons, the individuals, but also some entities, some legal persons, and some research institutions, the users. So pretty much everyone, the research, the R&D, the use, the end terminal customers are all relevant to this regulation. So the objectives is to support the development plan on the new generation of artificial intelligence, which is released in 2017, and also to detail and implement the new generation of artificial intelligence principles released in 2019. So in these 2 documents, it regulates some of the ethics and some of the general rules of how to make research or R&D on artificial intelligence and how to what kind of artificial intelligence technology or ethics or any rules need to be followed when you do or use the AI for your technology or for your industry or for your manufacturing. Strengthen the artificial intelligence ethics related consciousness of the whole society and enhance the sense of responsibility of corresponding behavior to actively guide the artificial R&D and application activities to promote the healthy development of the AI. So basically, this is the only document we can find in the law and regulation level for the artificial ethics. Although it is only published by the Ministry of Science and Technology, but it is well discussed and well discussed between different stakeholders and with the experts in the artificial intelligence. And these documents will be used by other regulators or other standards makings for the ethics or for some trustworthiness considerations. And the contents of that, we did not have the English translation of the norm, but we made some summary that the major content regulated 6 basic ethical requirements, including improving human well-being, promoting fairness and justice, protecting privacy and security, ensuring that artificial intelligence is controllable and credible, strengthening humans' responsibility and improve ethical literacy. So basically, the 6 basic ethical requirements will be considered for the standardization and for the policy making and for the R&D. So basically, it is relevant to all the players, all the stakeholders for the artificial intelligence activities. It also regulated 18 specific ethical requirements for specific activities such as artificial management, research and development, supply, and application. I strongly recommend people to read this norm because it is preliminary requirements, but it is the only documents that have been semi-mature for the, you can understand how Chinese people look at artificial intelligence and how, although it is very general requirements are listed here, but at least people or the China is considering the human well-being, promoting fairness, justice, privacy, security, and also the AI must be controllable and credible, and the human still will play a very important role. The human's responsibilities and the ethical literacies will be all considered during the progress. So this is the summary of China's laws and regulations for artificial intelligence. And now we will discuss a little bit about the China artificial intelligence policies, which we focus only on national level documents. Although there are many local governments published artificial intelligence guidelines or policies, but we only focus on the national and sector, for example, MIT or Ministry of Science and Technology. Before that, we have to look back to see the most important, the key documents published before 2020. The very first one is the development plan on the new generation of artificial intelligence. Although this document is was published in 2017, it is still valid and still with the guiding positions for the developments of artificial intelligence in China. This document is specifically for artificial intelligence. Although the technology developed very quickly during these 5 years, but because it regulates or it proposed many principles on the development of artificial intelligence, so it is still of great importance for our research and for the further standardization all over the country. And in December, the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, MIT, published a 3-year action plan of promoting a new generation of artificial intelligence. It is mainly focus on the detailed implementation plan for the State Council's documents, the previous one, and also the Committee of the Deepened Reform of China Central Communist Party also published in March 2019 the guideline on promoting the deep integration of artificial intelligence and the real economy. So basically, it is also the application or implementation of artificial intelligence in Chinese real economies. So this is the three K documents before 2020. So the most important one is obviously the notice of State Council, the development of a new generation of artificial intelligence. And in these documents, in these slides, we just made a little bit summary about the 3 documents. So first, as I introduced in the previous slide, the new generation, the development plan of new generation artificial intelligence is constructing an innovative systems of AI science and technology. It set up the promoting the intelligent economy, building a safe and convenient intelligent society with AI. So even as early as 2017, the safe and convenient and controllable is a key principle for artificial intelligence in China. And establishing the artificial intelligence plan promoting office. So it also set up the organization with other advisory committees to make the consultation or advisory for the development of AI. And the MIT's documents is mainly set up the details and tasks to carry out the 3-year plan. And it was finished already in 2021. And the analysis of how many, it proposed 17 key categories. How many of them are achieved, the target, how many targets are achieved is still under analysis. And also it also proposed to establish the AI standards system in 2017. And that is why in 2018 and 2020, China, SEC, and MIT together published the Artificial Intelligence Standardization System Guideline. And also the second document, the third document published in 2019, it is basically seeing that to promote the application of artificial intelligence in industry, in real economy. So it is not only in the virtual world, in the internet area, in online shopping, in online, in e-business. It is greatly promoted by the Communist Party that the artificial intelligence should be used in the industry, in the manufacturing. The rationale behind is that China always want to become the big manufacturing powerhouse in the world. So artificial intelligence application in the manufacturers is regarded as priorities not priority one, not if priority one, but still in the very top priorities for the artificial intelligence in China. And it comes to 2020, the artificial intelligence in policies in 2020 to 2022. First is the guidelines for construction of national new generation of artificial intelligence standardization system. This is under the call for standardization system of the 2017 document. After 2 years to 3 years, the SAC, CAC, China Cybersecurity, China Cyberspace Administration, and China National Development and Reform Committee, NDRC, Ministry of Science and Technology, Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, MIT, together published the standardization systems. It was published in 2020, and here is how China make the artificial intelligence standards, the framework of China AI standards. From this picture, you can see that China pretty much divided the artificial intelligence with 3 key paths. First is number A. A is more focused on basics like framework, like terminology, like testing and evaluation, and also the in the middle part is different sectors application on artificial intelligence. For example, number B, the bottom line, will be supporting technology and products, like what kind of technology and what kind of products need to be standardized to support the artificial intelligence. For example, the big data, which is key for the AI training and AI self-study or other technology, and Internet of Things. That's can be regarded as artificial intelligence infrastructure, cloud computing technology to or some algorithm to find out the used for AI, and edge computing, distributed computing technology to make artificial intelligence even more comprehensive, intelligent sensor, data storage and transmission equipment. And then in the middle, second column, bottom column line is a hardware and software platform like intelligent chips, software, system software development framework. So you can see that number B, C, and D can be regarded as the artificial intelligence infrastructure, machine learning, knowledge graphics. And from E, there will be the critical technology like natural language, like voice recognition, intelligence, voice computing, vision, like vision recognition, biometrics recognition, like visual arts, or the human computing interfaces. And F will be the artificial intelligence product and services like intelligent robots, with all the use of the artificial intelligence infrastructure, with all the technology. Finally, we have the robots to help us to do the manufacturing, to do the service, or to do the medical checking, or medical, or any other, or even for the firefighting robots. All the intelligence conveying tools like automatic driving or manufacturing arms, or the intelligent terminals and intelligent services. And the G will be the combination of all the different technologies, the application for the industry. It's been regarded with many, but the supporting of the basis are B, C, D, E, and F. So in G, it's divided with intelligent manufacturing, intelligent agriculture, intelligent transportation, intelligent governance, so intelligent whatever. So it is different sectors, but it uses all the technologies, all the supporting technologies and supporting infrastructures with A, B, C, D, and E. Last but not least is the column H. That is the security and ethics. It covers all the different parts for artificial intelligence. So it's also divided into the securities and privacy protection, the ethics and the ethics. So security and ethics are of great importance for the artificial intelligence in China. I believe it is also the same case in the world. So if you see this picture, you will see that what is the rationale behind and what is the concept in China on the artificial intelligence development and standardization. So basically, this picture cannot cover all, but it tried to cover all. For example, if you see that the algorithm, it could be the number E, critical artificial intelligence technology, like covers all the natural language processing, voices, vision, all the K technologies. All the others like brain-like computing, it is so the algorithm could be found in different sectors. And for example, in DD, you can see quantum intelligent computing. It is also not only quantum, it is quantum technology used for the artificial intelligence. So I have to see that this is how China to regarded the standardization activities for artificial intelligence. We didn't make the comparison with the ISO and IEC yet, but it will be very interesting to see in the international standardization level how they make the international standards for AI. Basically, this framework of artificial standards, AI artificial intelligence standards, are implemented by several different technical committees. For example, for smart manufacturing, that will be one technical committee to focus only on that. But no doubt it cannot go without the support with other technologies or other standards. This is artificial intelligence framework. The second document is the guiding openings on accelerating the innovation in use cases and promoting high quality economic development with high-level application of artificial intelligence. In short, it is the use cases and scenarios of application, high-level application of artificial intelligence. It is just published very recently in 2022, and it is issued by MIT, MOST, MOE, Ministry of Transportation, Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Affairs, and National Health Commission. So basically, it tried to figure out what kind of use cases or scenarios need the artificial intelligence and how to use artificial intelligence in those high-level applications. And this document is in line with a development plan on new generation of artificial intelligence, which is released in 2017. And also the 14th five-year plan and long-range objectives for 2033, 2035, which is published in 2021. And the key contents in this document, basically, if you want to see that in a short, it is the use cases, is the application of artificial intelligence in different scenarios, different Cs, and different use cases. So first, the objectives is to find out some innovation or use case to become a new path for artificial intelligence. So rather than to see as a comprehensive use of artificial intelligence, this document try to divide the AI in different applications. For example, transportation, for example, artificial agriculture or manufacturing. So each of different sense or different use cases may need different artificial intelligence. And encourage the number B is the areas that the scenarios innovation shall focus. Look, this is how China set the priorities for artificial intelligence. First, high-end digital economy, safe and smart society, how the artificial intelligence are used for the virtual world or for the digital world or for the social management. For example, the EID or the e-management or e-governance, the high-end scientific technology activities, research and scientific technology, and national key events and construction projects. For example, if some construction projects need the new artificial intelligence technology. Number C, the documents encourage the capacity building for the firms, companies, and enterprises, universities and colleagues, and research centers, specialized agency and pilot areas. It also advancing the public opening of artificial scenarios, like release scenario innovative list, organizing high-level artificial. So the government will list the artificial intelligence scenarios and to encourage more activities in that area. It is guess some of the subsidies or some fundings maybe at least some stimulators methods will be used to encourage the development in the listed scenarios and increase artificial innovation supply in infrastructures, data supply, talents cultivation, and supply of market resources. So basically, the infrastructure is number one for the use. So we can see that from the document of 2017 to 2022, the artificial intelligence as a whole is a very big, huge concept. However, in China, some of the applications go to the sectors, go to the different applications or scenarios. Last, the 14th five-year plan for information and communication industry development, and it is published. It was published in 2021, and in this document, it is it is specifically to see improve the service capability of artificial intelligence infrastructure. So basically, it says that build standard public data sets for industry applications, so standardized data, improve the level of open sharing and empowerment of public data. So the data will be standardized and can be used or shared by different stakeholders or different players. Build an artificial intelligent algorithm framework and encourage enterprises to speed up the upgrading of algorithm framework. Build an advanced algorithm model base. Build a general and industry-oriented AI algorithm platform. So maybe some reform can use some AI algorithm can put on the platform and people can buy or use that with some model, and strengthen the adaptation of software and chips, and support the companies or enterprises and research institutions in setting up AI open innovation platform. So that is why there is a discussion of not open resource, but open innovation platform. I remember they said some algorithm can be commercialized or be open for more upgrading or more work. So that is all for the policy making, and now we focus on the standardization, artificial intelligence standardization. First, the organizations. In 2018, China set up the Artificial Intelligence Standardization General Working Group. So it published the white paper on artificial intelligence, and it drafted the standardization, the framework of artificial intelligence standardization, which is in 2020. But since 2020, in 2020, the SC42, SACT328, SC42 was set up. So the work has been transferred to the technical committee. So the Artificial Intelligence Standardization General Working Group is still exists, but it is not very active. All the members become member of AI Standards Technical Committee. And this technical committee mirroring ISO, IEC, GTC1, SC22. And we can see that in SC42, there are 11 standards published and 27 under drafting. And as a comparison in China, the SC42 is set up in 2020. And the secretariat is in CESI, China Electronics Standardization Institution. And after the SC42 was established, all the artificial intelligence standards were gathered and will be drafted in this committee. And so far, until January 2022, it published 5 national standards, and 7 national standards are under drafting. And meanwhile, there are 41 other standards are under drafting. It was mentioning that although there is the SC42 for artificial intelligence, specific sectors may have their virtual artificial standards made in specific technical committees or working groups. For example, automated driving. SC42 has a technical committee for automated driving, but in other technical committee, basically in the car industry, they also have their automated driving technical committee. There may be some overlapping, but so far I didn't check the conflicting side of the 2 different technical committees. But the main focus are a bit different. In SC42, it mainly focuses on the technologies or the artificial algorithms, artificial technologies. While in the car industry, the automated driving standards may focus on regulate what kind of rule can be used for automated driving. what kind of signals need to be regulated or made for automated driving cars or similar things. But I doubt and I believe there must be some overlapping areas for the artificial intelligence for this area. And sometimes it could be some conflicting. So it is of great benefits to coordinate between SC42 and also other similar technical committees. Another example could be manufacturing. So like all face recognition in AI, there's a face recognition standards, but meanwhile in TC260 security or some other applications, they may also have a face recognition. So in the future, I believe the better coordination need to be done between the different technical committees in China. So let us focus on the SC42. Why? Because most of the artificial intelligence are made in SC42 now, and we do not go to, for example, the robots technical committee. There is an industry robots technical committee, or the automated driving technical committee, or the firefighting robots or something. We do not go to specific sector technical committees to discuss their AI standards. We focus at this time only SC42. So in SC42, it mirrors ISO IEC GTC1 SC42. However, it has 8 working groups, which are the working group of basic standards, automated driving, chip and system, product and service, computer vision, trustworthiness, model and algorithm, and knowledge graph. So basically, you see that there must be a CHIPS technical committee, but this CHIPS is mainly for artificial intelligence. So I hope you can understand the slight difference between the artificial intelligence technical committee and other sector technical committees, which are dealing similar concepts. So first, the working group of basic standards. Until January 2022, there are 2 standards published. First is a national standards, the information technology, artificial intelligence terminology. It is basically the translation of ISO and IEC standards into Chinese language. And there is an adoption of ISO IEC technical report 24372, information technology, artificial intelligence, overview of computational approaches for AI standards. So basically generally for the basic standards, most of them are directly adoption from ISO IEC standards at this moment. Why so? Because SC42 directly participates in ISO and IEC international standardization work. So they can get the first-hand information, and it is easier for them to directly adopt ISO and IEC standards, especially for the terminologies or for the basic ones. And the ongoing work and the working group is some standards. The 4 standards. The first one did not have the ISO and IEC number, so I guess it either is waiting for ISO and IEC, or it is the newly drafted project proposal. Other 3 standards are from directly adoption from ISO and IEC. It was mentioning that in China, the identical adoption still need to be discussed in the technical committee. Some modification may be made during the process. So far, the intention is to identically adopt of ISO and IEC standards listed here. But some of the clauses or some of the contents could be modified according to the consensus rule. And meanwhile, it also set up an ad hoc group research on machine learning computing device ad hoc group. So totally 4 standards and 1 research are ongoing in working group of basic standards. Second working group is chips and systems. So achievements is 6 standards are published. You can see the number. Neither GB standards nor ISO IEC standards. So basically, these standards are association standards of CESA, China Electronics Standardization Association. Why they make some association standards in the National Technical Committee? It is because that currently SAC is very cautious on approving new national standards project proposals. So you can see that in SC42, they only have 5 national standards published and 7 national standards. So they only got 7 national standards projects. However, they have more work to do. How can they, if they finish the standards, it cannot become a national standards. Then they will give them the number as the association standards. So it is why that the technical committee produced 6 association standards in their technical committee, but the rule is exactly the same like the national standards. It will set up the project proposal, it will have the committee draft, call for comments, another committee draft, and then the draft for a proposal, and also the final draft, and then the standards. So the chips and system standards are listed here, and they are all not ISO and IEC standards. Why this case? Because ISO and IEC standards can only adopt by national committees, can only adopt by national standards. And the SC42U sometimes are reluctant to use their precious national standards project to adopt ISO and IEC standards because they have so many work to do. They want to get the achievements. They want to get more national standards. That is why sometimes it is quite slow, a bit difficult for the SC42 to adopt ISO and IEC standards directly at this moment. And ongoing work, the report two white papers. One is on effective computing, another is China Future Computing Network, and a national standards platform resources supply. It did not see the ISO and IEC standards number, so I doubt it will be the national specific, China specific standards. And IEEE standards, yes, there are IEEE standards in SC42. Why it is this case? It is because that CESI have very close cooperation with IEEE, and sometimes if they are not, no doubt ISO and IEC is the first priorities, but sometimes if it is failed to submit their project proposals in ISO and IEC, they will transfer that project to IEEE. So at least they can see that it is an achievement. So I believe that ISO and IEC need to make some attention or at least to notice such activities. And other 6 standards are listed here. I guess it will become, because it do not have the number, the national project number, so it will become, I believe, in the future, association standards or the sector standards. And also they are doing tests for AI technology performance and some other accelerating interfaces. Another working group is product and services. So it will go to the AND tool or the robust level. Again, the achievements is 3 association standards. On the classified assessment on intelligent assistance capability, classified assessment for machine translation capability, and reference model of service capability maturity evaluation. And the work ongoing, and in this year, at least they are not published in 2022 yet. So one report, white paper on product and service of artificial intelligence, and several standards. Again, it do not have the project number, so it is not national standards. It will be the association standards and also some testings listed on the bottom line of the form. And working group of model and algorithm, again, several standards were published in 2019, 2020, and 2018. And for example, the Artificial Intelligence Code of Practice for Data Annotation of Machine Learning, or the Framework and Functional Requirements of System for Machine Learning. Why I list association standards here? Because if SAC gave them the national project number, it could have become a national standards. It is because that there are too many standards. That's why it is become only association standards at this stage. And ongoing work until 2020, in 2022, research report and IEEE standard, another several artificial intelligence standards like guidelines for model management, application program interface API, of deep learning interference engine, or other information. If you are specifically interested in any of the standards, you can go to the website of SAC to see what stage are they in, whether all the SC42, there are some opportunities you can get the draft if it is during the call for comments stage. And the last one is a working group of trustworthiness. So it has the made a report, analysis report on AI ethical risks, and two association standards. And ongoing work is listed here. White paper on trustworthy AI standardization, practical cases of R&D of trustworthy AI technology, research report on fairness and supervision of AI algorithm, and several standards, and also test risk assessment of AI products. And a working group of computing vision. Here is several association standards published in 2019 and a national standards, information technology, computer vision terminology. it do not have the GB standards number yet, but it has published as a national standards, finished as a national standards, and also some other standards as association standards. And ongoing work like white paper on computing vision standardization, another IEEE standard, another association on national standard, and another standards, several, 10, and testing for personal tracking, OCR, current audit, content auditing, deep fake, machine vision, etc. So this is their ongoing work. If you are based in China and you are interested in artificial intelligence, you can join SEC 42 to learn more about the technology or the standards. The working group of automated driving, so far there is only one white paper being published, and the ongoing work is several reports and 2 standards. It will be very interesting to see what is happening for SACTC 114, which is a national automobile standardization technical committee, and they have a sub working group 27, which is automated driving as well. Some of them could be similar, but I believe that they are well coordinated to try do not have conflicting requirements for different standards. And knowledge graph, so white papers and research papers were published only at this moment, and some standards are making. One standard is adoption of ISO and IEC working draft, or basically, I think it must be waiting for the final draft of this ISO and IEC standards, and also the national standards and several IEEE standards are under drafting. They are part of the IEEE standards drafters in this case. And so the 2 meetings, the sub-meeting summaries for SC 42 in 2022, they have the first executive meeting of chairman. So it is happened in 20th April 2022. It is only the secretaries to report their work of 2021 and annual work plan of 2022, and review the preparatory plan for different subcommittees and working groups, and review of candidate list of chairs and vice chairs for the different sub-working groups, and review and just the members of, so this is it can be regarded as a chairperson's meeting to discuss the strategic issues. So standards are not discussed in this meeting. It is just discussing the organization structures, management work, and also coordination with other different technical committees, and also from the chairpersons or members of different technical committees. And the second preliminary meeting was from 5th to 8th of July 2022, and it have together with 288 members, and about 51 standards discussed during the meeting. Because it is a 4-day meeting and it is online meeting, and some of the sessions are open to all the participants from the society. So there is a statistic number. It says that about 30,000 experts joined with more than 30 standards discussion for certain standards. So you can see that at least in China, artificial intelligence are very popular, and China have a lot of at least 30,000 artificial intelligence in different sectors or different areas. So that's all from the standardization point of view. Now it's time to make a summary. So here are some observations from SASAC. First, China do not have specific laws and regulations for AI or even some clauses for AI. So artificial intelligence are not well mentioned in any laws or regulations. There's only one clauses and one norm talk about artificial intelligence ethics. Second, artificial intelligence ethics and trustworthiness are still under researching and debating in China. So which need to be regulated, which need to be leave open are still a question mark. And China's subconscious policies. So the policies are very clear, this and that, but there is a unseen or subconscious policy is to let the industries and industry develop, let the industries develop, industries and technologies developed until the situation or the request are rather urgent and clear. So the industry and the technology to develop, and only until certain point of view, the requests are very clear and very urgent, then some laws or norms may be made. And also the artificial intelligence development policies at this stage are more for technologies, industries, and scenarios or use cases for AI. So this is the current situation in China. And more artificial intelligence are made, more artificial intelligence are made in China, although some of the technologies are still in the early or very preliminary stages. You can see that there are more standards drafted than in China than in ISO IEC GTC1 IC42. Some of the technologies are rather new. And SACTC 28 SC42 is trying its best to adopt ISO IEC GTC1 IC42 standards. They have the advantages because they are directly mirroring there, and they try to adopt more standards. But meanwhile, they also try to submit proper standards to the international level. So they try to make China proposals on artificial intelligence in ISO and IEC, and sometimes in IEEE. I think this is all for today, and thank you for listening. And now we will have our question Q&A session. Let us see what has been right on the Q&A and chat box. First one, what is the relationship between AI and more general digitalization and green manufacturing in China? I believe for the artificial intelligence technology, it is one or not, even if not the priority one, but the one critical or great or prioritized technologies for general digitalization. And for green manufacturing, artificial intelligence may not have many applications at this stage, but for general digitalization, artificial intelligence is no doubt the key critical and prioritized technology. Second, if you modify a standard during the adoption process, it is no longer identical adoption. See ISO IEC Guide 21. Is Guide 21 fully implemented in China or not? Actually, Guide 21 is fully implemented, but the standard need to be discussed in the technical committee. If some of the clauses the China stakeholders cannot fulfill, they may make comments to see, can we change that? Can we change? So the intention when the project proposal was submitted to us to SAC, the intention is to identically adopt ISO and IEC. But during the 18 months or the 12 months adoption procedure, consensus rule applies to the adoption process. If there are very strong objections, the IDT may come MOD rather than IDT. So the identical adoption will finally become a modified adoption. So this is the case in China. So China is a national committee, is a member of ISO and IEC. It is a fully implemented Guide 21 and any guide of ISO IEC in China. Another question, who do you think or foresee will be the artificial regulator in China, e.g. CEC, most MIT or etc.? I believe CEC and MIT. CEC will be the case. But usually if it is a law, it will go to state council, go to the People's Congress. But the main key drafter could be CEC together with MIT. Most is the could be relevant, but if you ask me, I would say CEC is a prioritized player or regulator. Another question, China is developing very specific standards on AI chips and specific system design. As chips and system designs are constantly evolving, how useful are such standards? This is a very good question. Just as what I conclude in our summary, some of the standards or technologies are still not mature or stable enough. China has already done the standards. So sometimes when the standards are finished, 3, 4, 5 years later, it is no use anymore. So that's why I believe that China need to rethink how to, but still the rationale behind of behind SC42 is that they want to get more standards published. They want to have achievements. That is why some of the standards are not, some of the technology are not stable, are not free yet, or some of the requirements are not mature yet. The standards have already been made. So this is a big problem in China. So any other questions? Okay. It seems we do not have any questions, or we give another 1 minute for more questions. Otherwise, we will close our session. And thank you for joining us for today. If you have more questions, or if you did not have time to finish your question, you can still send us email so we can answer your questions via email. Or if you have any comments, whether this standards, whether this webinar is useful, we will also send you the survey. Please fill up the full survey so we can better understand your requirements and your future, so we can do better in the future. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the day for those who are based in Europe, and enjoy the evening of those who are based in China. Thank you, and bye-bye.